So once you have your drums, your bass, and some chords to go on top, once you have something like this, the next and final step before expanding this out into a full track is to add a little bit of what we call lead, which is the melodic instrument in electronic dance music. Okay, so what's really common when we have in lead instruments in EDM is what we call an ostinato, which sounds something like this. Okay, so you can hear, but this is actually just the same thing, the same little musical idea, the same little motif repeated again and again. So you can see I've got about a 1 bar long idea, which is actually quite repetitive in itself, and I've just used the loop at the top right to drag it out. So even though it's the same thing repeating over and over again, if we click into it, piano roll, you can see it just uses 3 notes, this particular one. E, A, back to E, and then down to D. So just 3 notes going up and down. That's a very simple idea, but the important thing is that it fits over the bass line I've chosen and over the chords. So you need to look into the chords, first of all, look at the notes you have, and it's good to start with a note that is in one of your chords. Right, so if we look at my ostinato again, it's starting on that E. We look at my chords. Do I have an E in the chord? I do. In fact, I have an E in both chords. And that's why focusing on that E for my ostinato melody works so well over both chords, because that note is in both. So that's what you want to do. Try and find a note. Hopefully you have a note that's in all of your chords, or that's in lots of your chords. Use that as a main idea, so you can open up. And for this lead, good one to go for is synthesizers. So you can take a look. You even see there's a category called leads. So again, choose one that you like the sound of. Let's just make sure that one is muted. So first of all, what you can do is just set your loop bar to have your whole 4-bar loop here of drums, bass, and chords. You can just hit play, get your instrument up, and just try out a few ideas. So once you've found out what your first note is going to be, so I know that I'm going to use E because that fits in both the chords, then just try out a few little ideas with just that and 1 or 2 other notes in a simple pattern. And make sure it fits over all the chords and bass line you've chosen. So I'm going to hit play, going to loop it, and going to try out an idea. Okay, so just so happens that I quite like the first thing I came up with, but you can keep going along with that as long as you want, try out different things. But I quite like this idea. So if you want, you can hit record and record it in live. Remember, you get the 8 beats. 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're less confident with getting that in time, or if you want to go in and tidy it up, remember you can select it, you can go to the piano roll instead of the instrument. You can come in and select, and you can move things. You can move things manually, or you can select everything, you can right click, and you can go to quantize, and then choose one which is going to work for you. So 16 is probably good, it's not going to put anything too far out. way around. If you think, maybe those, I don't quite like that note, you can change just one note. If you think a rhythm doesn't quite work, you could try changing that. So as long as you've got notes that work with the chords you're playing with, you can really put them in any order and in any rhythm, and they're going to sound good together. So it's just up to you to experiment. Find those notes that are going to work with the chords. Remember to go in and look at what notes are already in your chords, and using those same notes, you know they're going to work with your chords. And then just find something that sounds good to you.